everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm with Kimberly, and I am, of course, Kimberly. Today's cooking video is over Trinidad-Style curry chicken, and it's a chickpea and potato recipe that I tried out. I actually tried this recipe out for the first time, and I kind of like my original recipe better. It's a curried chana and aloo recipe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Clearly, I am not from Trinidad, but my mother-in-law is, and so she's where I got the inspiration to try to make these recipes. I will link in the description below which recipes that I am following. I actually got these off of Pinterest, so I did not come up with these. The curry chicken that I'm making in today's video tastes very, very similar to the way that my mother-in-law, who is actually from Trinidad, how she makes her chicken. Now, I have attempted to make roti with this before. So roti is a traditional flatbread that's usually served with this kind of curried chicken. It's usually cooked on a round griddle called a tawa. If you want to try making your own roti, I will put a link down in the description box below so you can see where you could pick up a tawa like mine. So I hope you really enjoy this recipe. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment down below, share this video, and until next time. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is work on our marinade for the chicken. So we're going to chop up our onion first and get that into the food processor. And I pretty much just quarter it up as I'm working with a small little processor. Next, we're going to take our ginger, about a ½ inch piece, peel that and drop that into the food processor. Next comes our garlic cloves. I just used the flat part of my knife to mash those up, put those into the processor, and I believe that's 4 of those. Next is a hot pepper. I typically like to use a Scotch bonnet, but I had bought a bunch of jalapenos, so also you'll notice if you don't want it that hot, take the seeds and the membrane out. That's where most of the heat is, but I like to leave it in. My husband and I like hot, spicy food. Next is about a ½ cup of cilantro, and as you can see, I just kind of eyeball everything. I don't typically measure when I'm cooking. And once you get your lid on, just give that a whirl and get that nice and mixed together. Next, we're going to put in our seasonings and try not to drop it like I did mine as I was trying to show the camera. And this is our curry seasoning. I believe that was about 2 tablespoons. Give that a whiz in the food processor, and you should have something that looks like this beautiful deep green color. I am using quartered chicken legs, which I'm actually cutting into pieces, separating the leg from the thigh part, just because it makes it a little easier to eat. But I like getting these quartered chicken legs because you can usually find them for a really good deal, very inexpensive. So once we have all of our chicken pieces together, let's get that in the bowl, and I'm going to dump the pasty mixture from our mixing bowl into the chicken, and I just get right in there with my hands and get that all mixed up and kind of pat it into the skin. And this is what it will look like once you get that mixture on. Let that marinate in the refrigerator. The longer the better. I'd say at least a couple of hours. Next, we're going to put, I believe it's 4 tablespoons of oil into our hot pan, and we are going to get some good brown color on the chicken pieces. So just set those right in. I probably had let my chicken marinate for a good 5 to 6 hours before I did this part, by the way. Like I said, it's great if you could do this overnight. Let that sit. And all that leftover marinade in the bowl, I get that in there with the chicken because it's going to make a great sauce once you add in your ½ cup of water. If you feel like you need a little more water for a little extra sauce, go ahead and add that in as well. And then we are going to let this chicken simmer for about 45 minutes. Now let's start on our chickpea and potato curry. So again, we're going to start off with putting our oil in the pan. I believe a couple of tablespoons. I'm not actually keeping track of my measurements as I'm going back over this video, so you can reference back my list. Of course, get your onion chopped up in the pot, and this one you're going to want to actually dice. Since this is not going into a food processor, we are actually just putting this into our stock pot. Next, we want to add in our minced garlic cloves. You can also use minced garlic that you can buy from the store to make it a little easier. I like fresh garlic, I think is a little more flavorful. Of course, we have to add in another hot pepper. Again, any kind of hot pepper that you prefer. Take the seeds out and the membrane if it's, you don't want it that spicy. Again, I like to leave ours in for my husband and I. Next, I like to add in all my spices at once. I believe curry powder, paprika, cumin, salt, pepper. Again, refer back to the list. And then you're just going to give that a good mix. And if you find that it's sticking to the bottom of your pan at that point, add just a little tad bit of water in there. Next, I'm going to add in some chopped potatoes and just chop those down bite-sized pieces. 2 cans of the chickpeas, which I did drain and rinse. And then 2 cups of chicken broth are going to be added. And now I'm adding in 1 can of diced tomatoes to the pot. Just going to mix all that up and season with salt to your taste. It's starting to look really pretty and colorful now. We're going to mix this up and let this go. And really what I was looking for, just for the potatoes to be fork tender, it probably took about 30 minutes. That's my chicken on the side, and then this is when the curry potato mixture was pretty much done. And here's the finished plate, guys. So delicious. I added a piece of naan bread that you can get directly from your grocery store. So if you enjoyed watching this video and like this recipe and want to see more like it, please like and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time.